Chapter 10, Sample Extraction Smoke Detection System. It is used on cargo ships only. The arrangement is, the accumulator is the nozzle. It's like a big cup like thing connected with a pipe, and it goes all the way to accommodation side where you have got a CO2 system. In between, before it goes to CO2 system, it is connected via a monitor. That monitor is normally on bridge. Most of the cases it is on bridge. It is an ancient system. In some sense you can say well proven system, that's why it is still around. What it does is, from one end it will take the suction from here, the gas will travel to the detection system where you have got detectors which will detect electronically movement, the the light doesn't fall on the receiving side of the photoelectric diode and whatever, it will start the alarm. Now if it doesn't, there is also visual indicator, there are glass tubes, so you can look through that, and if there is a smoke you can see, array this is smoky, means there is a smoke coming, and everything is marked there, hole number 1 2 3 4 5 6 whatever. And before it connects to this detection system, there is a three-way valve. Three-way valve means it connects either the hold, the accumulator, to the detection system, or it connects this accumulator to CO2 system. Okay, under no circumstances detection system is connected to the CO2 system. That is why we have got three-way valve, either this open or that open. That means when it is connected to detection system, you cannot release CO2 in the hole. Okay. Now additionally what happens is, the unit is on bridge, it goes via Monkey Island normally. It releases things in Monkey Island. That gas which is discharged, or the sample, air sample, are released in atmosphere. And there is also a system by which it is brought back to the wheelhouse on bridge. The reason being, even if you are not paying attention to every pipe, who is bringing the samples, you can also feel by your nose there is something burning, there is something burning. Then you will go and check the detection system. This is how it was working from beginning. And we used to have testing time. One smoker invited, then he used to deep drag and he used to blow smoke, and we used to see how it is working, everything like that. So this is how we used to do testing once upon a time. So the control panel, sampling pipes are connected there, three-way valves are there. Control panel is monitoring samples. Viewing chamber is there where you have got glass tubes. Smoke sensing units are there. Then if there is excessive smoke, it is going to start alarm. This is not going to give you location of the fire, except it is in number 1 hold or number 2 hold, not exactly where in the hold. It's going to just say there is fire there. Then I told you it works continuously. Again, two sources of power, emergency power is always there. And another one which may be accepted is sequential scanning, but it will need approval. Sequential scanning means, at the beginning of a minute, say there are 6 holes, so 10 seconds section will be from number 1 hole, then the next 10 seconds will be number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, like that. And that is the time it will indicate only. That means once in a minute you will be checking each hole, and continuous system is checking it all the time. It doesn't have a break. And normally this system are susceptible for okay, these systems are susceptible for dust. So normally before loading we blow systems clean, ensure that everything is okay, the suctions everything are clear, because dust when you are loading on bulk carriers and all, it may accumulate in the pipes, and the same thing will give you wrong signal because of dust. Then systems are tough. These are like ancient system and very tough. They can withstand all sorts of normal problems faced by the ship. This system can be tested without renewal of any component. Means you do not need to change anything for testing. Means nothing is dispensable. Then usual stuff, alternate power supplies are there. Now this is the rate 6.65 obscuration per minute per meter. That is the sensor unit. If it is less than that, it may not give you signal. There can be fire going on. Now there are as usual two extraction fans. One is used at a time, other one is kept standby. So if there is a problem with one, you switch over to second one, get the first one also fixed up. Means one way or the other system must work all the time. Sampling pipe diameter, inner diameter of course, is over 12 millimeters. Means are provided on each SAM to monitor airflow. Now it used to be a traditional one, the glass tubes I mentioned. In glass tube there used to be a small impeller. So with the flow it used to rotate. And we could see it, yes, it is working. Why? Because the fan is rotating, a tiny fan, very tiny. Now this is what I told you, that control panel, you can look in the glass tubes and check it. Now sampling pipes extract equal quantities because the inner diameter is same, so it will extract the same amount every time. Then they are cleaned up with compressed air regularly, and like I told you, we also check with smoke. Now you can always use the smoke generator and take the suction from the holes and see the alarm. That is also possible. These days you don't find it. There is another system which is created from bypass. You do it, and because you may not be able to reach that easily to the accumulators. At least one accumulator. Each serves 12 meters radius. So at least one as high as possible. Then normally you will find in the hole 4, 6 depending on size of the hole. Because 12 meters radius, when you say, the maximum you may be able to manage is 24-meter length and width. That trying to put it in the middle so it covers up, but generally you will see that there are 4 at generally. Most of the holes are bigger than that. They are independent to each hole. Okay, they do not meet. Number 1 pipe will not meet number 2 pipe anyway for detection purpose. And when it is connected to CO2 pipeline, then there each one again is separated, so that there is nothing like if I am releasing anything in number 1, it will go to number 2, nothing like that. Again there is isolation. So one way or the other, each hole is isolated for detection as well as for extinguishing purpose. Now they are self-drained and protected from cargo. That is, self-draining is again, it is the same thing like when it comes towards accommodation, before it goes to bridge and all, there will be a drain plug. And that also everybody doesn't operate it. It is only the ETO who will handle that part. We expect condensation anyway. At sea you have to expect humidity is 90%. Little bit change of temperatures, you can have condensation. Then as usual, the system has to have audio and visual sound signal, alarms. So it gives you alarms, indicating units will give, control panel will give that alarm is there saying that there is a smoke coming from here. Indicating units are always on bridge because that is manned 24 by 7 when you are at sea. You may have another control somewhere down, but indicators will be always there to tell you. Moment you get the signal, you inform and somebody goes there to check, because after that actions will be manual. Every control panel will always have clear indication, the information will be there, and it will be not handwritten or something, it will be proper one, probably on brass plate. As usual, the usual sub goes, power sources are monitored. In case there is a problem with the power source, alarm will come, it will switch over to the next one. And if any alarms come like this on power source and all, you can reset the systems. So you can manually silence it. Normally, if it is a fire alarm connected, the fire alarm you cannot silence it. These alarms, a power supply or some other problem with the system, if it is indicating fire, you cannot silence the alarm that easily. You can obviously silence it, but not that easily. That I pressed it and okay, there is no more fire. Not like that. System automatically resets to normal operation when the fault conditions, alarm fault conditions which are there, the voltage was not okay, this, that, whatever it is, it will reset itself. Once you remove that problem, it will reset itself to back to normal. As usual, you have to have instruction how to test the system. Installation test is one in the beginning. After that, it is just maintenance tests. Spare parts will be required. Normally, this system will have some spare parts in the way of those glass tubes and all, and some detection, depending on what type of detector it is. You will have some spare parts, and that is to be maintained. Everything has some spare part box. Tested using smoke generator or a smoke source. Now we do use like smoke bombs and all, and also I had told you our ancient method. Each tube we had a chief engineer. That's why I remember it so well. So he used to feel very happy doing that job. So he will come there. Then our electrician is to open up that part, deep breath, and he will blow in each tube to see that each hold one is clear. Now this must trigger on in less than 180 seconds for Oro ships and 300 seconds for container cargo ships, because Oro ships are more sensitive for fire. Any doubts on 10? Any doubts? Yes, no.
No, sir.
Put it on this. I will record it. Okay. No, because you have done it once, so it is not that much of a issue actually. Why it's gone to the wrong thing. Solas. Okay. 10 is over. 11, 12 is combined because they are relatively smaller. Low location lighting system. There is no rule. It must be approved. That's all. No regulations are there. Then we come to emergency fire pump. Normally emergency fire pumps, normally they are operated under by emergency generator, that is emergency power source. But if you may have even on the diesel driven also, that is possible. And there are some changes in requirements, because what happens, emergency moment you use word, you want it to operate when everything is going wrong, you want it to be the savior. Now minimum capacity 25 cubic meters per hour minimum. Now 25 cubic meters is hardly anything. Normally we have got pumps like at least 90 cubic meters. but 25 is bare minimum. It will be based on the ship. Uh, According to the ship, the minimum capacity will be there. Here, by law, you say 25, but if I am a ship owner and I realize that I need 100 cubic meters to fight fire, so I am going to put pump of 100 cubic meters. I am not going to put it 25, saying that that is a regulation, because in the end, it's going to be my property which is on fire. So this also applies to minimum marks for selections and all. Okay. Now, if it is diesel driven, yes, now we inherit all the problems of internal combustion engines, cold temperatures, starting. Stopping is not the issue, it's basically starting. So, you have got diesel engines, you may have seen somewhere on farms and all where you crank with the hand and then it starts. Now, if engine is too big, you can't crank with the hand. So you can have starter like all cars today, diesel driven cars, trucks, everything has got electric starter. Similar starter can be there. Sorry. But if I have got a starter, I need battery. So I must have minimum capacity of the battery at least 2 times in 10 minutes, 6 times in 30 minutes. That much capacity battery must have, or if you are starting with compressed air, that is where you drive the engine first with compressed air, and at some moment when you think there is enough speed, you change over knob to start injecting fuel and it starts. But that compressed air will be stored somewhere. That storage capacity of that compressed air should be sufficient to start 2 times in 10 minutes or 6 times, and sorry, not or, my mistake, or and 6 times in 30 minutes. So that much capacity must be there. Means पहला किक मारा नहीं चालू हो गया, स्विच ऑफ किया, वापस सेकेंड टाइम. ऐसा नहीं होना कि फर्स्ट टाइम आई स्टार्ट एंड देन इट स्टॉप एंड सेकेंड टाइम आई ट्राई and I don't have power supply to start the engine. That is not possible. Next is, obviously, internal combustion engine is going to drink the fuel. So how much should be the capacity? The tank which is attached to the pump must have at least 3 hours fuel supply on the full load, and you must have additional 15 hours extra fuel stored separately, which you refill it and run. That means totally you should be able to run emergency fire pump for 18 hours. And always remember, no matter what happens, no matter what ship, which nationality, nothing, emergency fire pump is never ever inside machinery space. Same thing applies to emergency power generator. They are never ever part of machinery space. Any doubts on this? Hmm? No? You are becoming quite smart guys now.
Vision है ना sir.
Hmm? No, you are a smart guys, only you don't know how smart you are. You misjudge at times. Sometimes you think you are smarter than what you are when you try to play around cheating, and sometimes you lack confidence to know that you are smart. वो होता है, ये एज में सब होता है ऐसा. Afterwards you will get confidence. Escape routes. We have done n number of times, but again let's go. Passenger ships minimum width 900 millimeters, and as the escape route leads to embarkation deck, after every landing there is a space for stand and catch up your breath. Then it keeps on becoming bigger, because as people start moving towards lifeboats and all, there is panic and you need to open it more. So it starts as a narrow and it expands as it moves towards the lifeboat. Each side will have handrails. 900 millimeter is the minimum width, and it will keep on increasing. And each side must have handrails. Now, when you have got handrails, and as it expands, you need to catch on both the sides or at least one side. You don't expect people to climb up without handrails. Don't expect. We all might be able to do it because we worked at sea. But normal person needs handrails. That's why you'll find is a part of staircases everywhere. There is always handrail. They are always escape routes. Staircases are always fore and aft, never athwart ship. The reason, if this is the ship and my thing is like this, suppose if list is badly like this or like this, then so fore and aft there will be tilt, but you can still manage to climb up. That's why they are always fore and aft. Each landing area is at least 2 square meters, and based on the ship and number of people it is certified to have, it will be decided. It so at least 2 square meters after each climb. The platform here will be at least 2 or more, and based on number of people. So it may start with even 4. Why? Because number of people are so many. Doors always have same width as the stairway. That means there is no bottleneck anywhere. So there is no bottleneck. Otherwise it happens, no? Your staircases are broad, but you realize as you go down the doors are narrower. So you have bottleneck and it's congested. That doesn't happen on escape routes. Your door is as wide as your passage. Escape plan has to be there. It has to be pasted, and it is based on number of people, how many are expected, then where they are supposed to go, etc. So whole thing is planned out. Width, everything is calculated according to the plan is accompanied by calculation, that how you have decided this escape plan. Number of people, so much this, that, it will add up, and there is a full calculation. And that is how they justify the width of the stairways as well as the landing places. That is on passenger ship. Cargo ships width is never less than 700 millimeters. 700 millimeters must. Handrail on one side. Accepted on cargo ship because you don't have passengers, people are trained. So it is not. If the width is over 1800 millimeters, then it will need two, because you can't be stretching your hands and trying to catch both the sides. 1800 is quite lot, so it is more difficult. So then you will prefer to catch on one side. If it is 700, you have got one side to catch, it is okay. But 1800 is too wide that your both hands cannot catch. Angle of inclination of stairway is never more than 50 degrees. And in small places and all, it may be up to 60 degrees, but between 50 and 60 you catch it. Width of the door same as stairway. See, these are the basic principle how you design system. So if you pay attention, later on it will come handy, because your thinking process will be like that. That is what you need. That is what, if anybody can think properly, is considered smart. Nobody checks your marks once you are in profession. Then it shows how good you are, because the way you think. Now if you understand how it is designed, your mind will work automatically. So this is what you learn from these books. It's not only studying only this, you take site like this, that is all included, but thinking has to be like this. It cannot be unreasonable. Like with 50 and 60, machinery space, you may not have enough space, so they allowed little more concession, 60 degrees. Otherwise 50. But whereas on passenger ships, you will be more careful about this. You will keep it lesser. Why? Because passengers may not be in that physical condition like typical seafarer is. Never mind what we say. We have got all people properly fit. As you get older, after I think I think, it's after 50, even you have to do treadmill test and all before you join the ships. So it is not that anybody gets up and says, okay, I am captain, I am senior. No, sir, you need to be physically fit. That was 13, correct? Right or wrong? What did we finish? See, this is the attention. 14. Fixed deck foam system on tankers. This is basically tankers. This is because we assume there can be explosion and deck can get ripped open. It has happened in the past, so don't get wrong ideas that it cannot happen. It has happened, and on one tanker long ago, that explosion actually saved the stuff because they got protection from that ripped open bulkhead. And our fixed deck fork system has to operate quickly when the tanks get ruptured. What we do is, our idea is, we coat everything with foam so that you cut off oxygen, because there is nothing else you can do. You have to prevent fire, and you have got that inflammable material liquid is exposed to oxygen. So somewhere the spark is going to happen, because that sort of accident, spark will be there. So idea is, close it quickly, don't allow oxygen to come in contact with the inflammable liquid. Now, as usual, if the foam system is operational, certain water jets also can be used, but you are not going to use them in cargo area. It is possible after the accident you may have fire in accommodation, as well as you have got a risk of fire on deck. So you are applying foam on deck, and you may be needing water somewhere else to fight fire. So certain amount of water can be utilized. Foam concentrate, as usual, it has to be approved type. Standard means this is how you have to think. It has to be approved type, and it has to have the stamp of some classification society. Foam output at least 1250 liters per minute. That is a fair amount. Believe me, it is quite a lot. Quantity of foam, the concentrate, should be sufficient to produce foam for at least 20 minutes on inert gas tanker, otherwise 30 minutes. So at least, because most of the places you will have inert gas, so at least 20 minutes you should be able to produce the foam. Now 20 minutes multiplied by 1250, that is the minimum amount of foam you will produce. Okay, for trick questions. Capacity, now you are going to deliver foam by applicators. They are like big gun like things which are fixed, and you can operate it. You can sit in one place, stand in one place, and you can move it on vertical axis, horizontal axis, so that you can guide the foam to cover a whole area. So each applicator must have capacity of at least 400 liters per minute, and the distance it can throw is 15 meters. That means what happens on a tanker, typical tanker, it is on the center line. So 15 meters one side, 15, so width of the ship can be 30 meters. You are okay. Now that is minimum throw. If the ship is wider, you will obviously have maybe additional ones fitted, and you will increase the range also. At least 4 applicators are provided. At least 4, because 400 into 4, 1600. Here you have got 1250 minimum. Control station has to be away from the cargo area, outside, and readily available, which is also logical. Why away from cargo area? Because it is meant for cargo area. It is a similar rule. The extinguishing system cannot be inside the compartment it serves. A similar rule. Cargo area, it is serving cargo area, so it cannot be there. The control station. Okay, applicators will be there, but control station is protected. Usual isolation valves, any system which deals with liquid or gases has to have isolation valves. Simple, standard, logical thinking, nothing more, there is no rocket science there. So that finishes our rule number 14. After that, how many are left? 15 and 16. 2. So I think we will have to leave it for tomorrow, correct? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know that. I was expecting chorus, you know. And what happened, Mujib? You were not there last lecture. Munip.
ना मुझे तो क्रिकेटर है।
हाँ नहीं नहीं मुनीप को बोल रहा हूँ मैं. You were not there last lecture, no? You can't hear me. ऐसे कैसे होएगा? Can you hear me, Munip? Mr. Munip Khoth. It is impossible. He doesn't do mischief like you all. Right, no? Or you all taught him?
सर वो बड़ा आदमी है सर.
Huh? And you have taught him all the tricks of the trade.
नहीं सर, आपने कुछ सही सिखाया।
सर मुनीब बड़ा आदमी है सर.
साइज में है ना, जरा वजन होएगा ना थोड़ा. Yeah, last time it was surprising because he is always marked present. That's what I was marking and I realized absent कहाँ से आया उसका. Otherwise, some of you are known for like Shubham. Shubham Malik is known to be absent once in a while. Correct? Shaunak
Yes sir.
is present
Sir
once in a
Shubham
while.
Malik. Sir it is only because
Huh?
Shubham Malik your laptop went off. Shubham Malik.